Hello, and welcome to the final day of the Premier League season. We've got Manchester United versus Wolverhampton Wanderers, or the Wolves, at the new stadium going on. The kickoff has begun and the match is underway. All right, Mike Dean is our referee for today, and let's see. Manchester United have, of course, already secured their second place, but for a huge team like us, obviously second place is not good enough. But the progress with Ole has been fun to watch. We do tend to get a little complacent, against smaller teams and against results which are already in our favor or which are not going to play a huge role, like in the second leg semi-final against AS Roma. But thankfully, because of that 8-5 scoreline, we are in the final for the Europa League at Gdansk in Poland in just 3 days, 4 days' time. All right. So, gearing up for that final is obviously going to be the main focus of Ole, as he's appearing on the screen right now with his trusted coaching staff. All right. And Wolves are on the attack, but dragged far too wide. All right. So, apart from the on ground shenanigans that will go on today, I obviously also want to point out what's the strategy for next, shall we say, season. So, also, I want to point out that the Premier League Hall of Fame just had a few more inductees, and a few of those were from Manchester United, one of them being my childhood idol, David Beckham, and of course, Roy Keane and the King, Eric Cantona, who in his inimitable style said that he's exceptional. The other inductees are great, but he is exceptional. But yeah, that's just how his attitude was on and off the field. And who could forget that flying kung fu kick he gave to one of the spectators in days gone by, the glory days for Manchester United. But never mind. The ball is cleared away from the Wolves penalty area. And the match seems to be fast paced. And the first 3 minutes have been kind of interesting, but at the same time, it's not the breakneck speed that we used to expect in the heyday of Manchester United, you know. And watching David Beckham's goals and crosses after so many years, it just reminded me how much Sir Alex Ferguson used to hone the innate talent of people. Obviously, they had to practice a lot to get it down to a perfect T. Still, the manager that Alex Ferguson was, no one else can be. All right, from the past to the present, Wolves are keeping good possession, and they've been a good team this season. Although their position in the table is not as high as their strength could allow them to be. All right. Leeds United, of course, played quite well, and there have been a few people who played excellently for Leeds, and they might even be transfer targets for Manchester United as well. But that's for the transfer season, and that's for next season. Right now, let's enjoy the final day of the Premier League 2020-2021. Okay. Building up from the back and going down the right flank, but forced to retreat because of Wolves' high pressing, and switching a flank, but just got the ball away, and too hard, too high, too fast. Nuno Santo is, of course, a great manager, just like Bielsa. So these guys are like Sir Alex Ferguson in some ways, in which they inspire their team and their young members, especially. Socially distant fans in the Molineux Stadium. which is obviously going to be a good ending to the Wolves campaign this season. Okay, 5 minutes gone, and let's see which side will be the first to get the breakthrough. So that also reminds me, Manchester United have been having a tough time at keeping, a clean sheet, because mostly after falling behind, the pace starts to build up. But right now, it was Alex Telles with a nice lob forward, and it got away from the control of newcomer Elanga, was it? All right. So, because of that uncontrolled run, Wolves start the play from the back, but the ball goes out soon enough for a Manchester United throw in, and we can build up the play, or at least try to. All right. Let me also remind you, in case you are not already aware, that there are 9 more matches going on. Every team in the competition is playing a game right now. Hi, Jacob, Wajra. There is no link. I'm watching it on Disney Plus Hotstar in India. So I'll just let you know that on the chat as well, because that's what you'll have to do if you're in India. If not, you'll have to obviously find your local provider. All right. So let's see. By the time I was typing out my reply, I think Elanga got another wayward shot away. And it's good that Ole is giving youngsters a good run in at tough teams like Wolves. And the previous games against Leicester and Liverpool were also a little tough for the changed up team. It's always uh, progress in motion, so to speak, because the bench strength has to be good as well. And, you can't just always rely on the first 11 to deliver breakthroughs. Okay, Wolves have possession. It's 8 minutes and 8 seconds into this game. And very patient build up now. All right, let's see how long just one person can keep the ball. And of course, it wasn't going to work out that way. Interruption by the Man U midfield. But the ball is back with Manchester United, and it goes out for a throw-in to Wolves. Okay. The hectic pace of the first few minutes has kind of settled down. I'm going to take a look at what's happening in the other games as well, because even though this squad of Manchester United would like to keep it at a breakneck pace, they are not going to be able to. All right, so Tuanzebe giving away a corner maybe. All right, let's see. It was a little risky, him heading the ball away. And is it a corner? We'll have to wait and watch. It seems like it. And Bolly having some words with his teammates, probably about how to approach this corner. All right, and the corner is delivered pretty flattish towards the near post and headed towards the farther post. And I guess it's going to be another corner for Wolves. Young Brandon Williams putting it out. No danger there to the Manchester United goal. But every corner is a new threat. So let's see how they'll deal with this one. Okay, 10 minutes in, and the scores are 0-0 in case you're just joining us. The corner coming in from Wolves, and again getting bounced off the head and falling at the far post for a Wolves player. They're bringing the ball back and trying to build up down the right flank at the right corner, and a good cross in but headed away by the Manchester United defense, and a bit of a scramble. All right, and it seems like Manchester United are trying a fast break. Dan James cannot keep the ball in, and unfortunately that counter attack fizzles out almost immediately. Ahmad tried to play it forward for Dan James, but it was a little bit of mismatch. Okay. So these matches between two attacking teams always have a probability that, each counter attack might lead to something, which is an excellent uh, approach to matches. I mean, clean sheets are well and good, but in the end, it's goals that win matches and points. And I would say that Manchester United's second place finish in the table is not just due to our awesome away form, which would make us one of the rare teams after the Arsenal team in the early 2000s to keep clean sheet, to not give away any points away from home, to remain undefeated away throughout a season. But it's also been because of lapses by the other top teams. It's also been quite a disappointing season for the title holders, Liverpool, for even Arsenal, who are languishing out of the Europa places. And there we have it. Elanga has scored, and this is how Manchester United can counterattack. Elanga has scored. Manchester United attack with purpose, and Elanga gets an awesome header, unstoppable, into the back of the net. And Manchester United, at 12 minutes in, are 1-0 up against Wolves on the final day of the Premier League season. All right, excellent start to the game, and for a change, it's Manchester United who have taken the lead instead of falling behind and then having to do all the hard work of catching up and then going beyond the opposition. So that's a great, well worked move. Cross comes in, header straight past the goalkeeper. And that's how Manchester United get their first goal of the last day of the Premier League season 2020-2021. All right. So Elanga getting his first senior goal for the club, which is very nice morale booster for the entire team, I would say. And now that they've got an early goal, they can move ahead with confidence, and they will have that belief in themselves that they can break down this Wolves defense, which has proved quite hard for other top teams to do this season. Let's see how Wolves respond, because there's still 75 minutes of regulation time to go, and added time has not always been a friend for Manchester United. And I find myself saying that with surprise, because we were the king of extra time goals, especially from that famous 1999 triple winning Champions League final, in which the current coach Solskjaer and Teddy Sheringham scored against Bayern Munich. So that was always something that is going to live on in history, and that is already legendary. Okay, so first quarter hour of the game is over. Manchester United find themselves ahead, courtesy of a Dan James cross that Elanga turned in with his head. So no chance for the goalkeeper there. Powerful header, great cross, well worked move for Manchester United. All right then, 15 minutes on the mark, and let's see what's going on with the other teams, right? All right. So let's get a bit of an update. I see that most of them, in fact, Manchester City have continued their scoring form and they are already 2 goals up against Everton. The rest of the teams are just goalless right now. So both the Manchester teams, the title winners, Grr, and Manchester United, have got a goal or two in the first 15 minutes of their final matches of 2020-2021. All right. Corner for Manchester United. And let's see how that goes. I shall keep this tab open and check in from time to time. Okay. Matic jostling around in the windy Molineux. Telles with the cross, a very low cross that ends up in the stands, and another corner for Manchester United. All right, then. I might as well transfer this right now. Okay. Another corner that's way better than the previous one and goes out of the head of Bai. But that's all right because Bai is not one who is known for his goal scoring abilities. Let's just say that. Uh, okay. How shall we do this? Meanwhile, Wolves trying to get ahead, but Telles with a great sliding interception to put the ball out for a throw in. And Wolves are trying to get their attacks moving down the right flank mostly. But Telles and the rest of the Manchester United defense are not giving them too much space. So that's always good to see because our defense has been sort of a letdown this season, which I'm sure Ole will look into during the off time. And when the next season begins, I'm pretty sure that there will be new additions to the squad. Harry Maguire, of course, is the notable absentee because of his injury, but he's hopeful for the Europa League final. Okay. A clearance that makes its way all the way back to the Wolves backline. And here come Wolves again. Again down the right side. Another cross which is off the mark. Fabio Silva unable to get a shot on target. And Wolves will have to wait for some more time to build up another attack towards the Manchester United goal. Okay, so for those of you who missed it, that first goal was scored by Elanga off the cross of Dan James. And it was pretty nice to see Manchester United get in front without having to play the catch-up game, especially since this is the last time that these teams are going to be playing for the 2020-2021 season of the English Premier League. Okay, Mike Dean has not had much to do yet, Mike Dean being the referee. And here come Manchester United once again. It's Dan James who was unable to latch on to a pretty simple ball from Van de Beek. This new crop of additions to the Manchester United side have not got enough game time, I guess, right now to actually come up with a cohesive style of play yet. But I'm pretty sure that Ole has good plans for most of them. And like Chris Smalling is away on loan, and a couple of others are loaned out to other teams in the Premier League and elsewhere. So maybe Ole is building around his team right now. He's going to try and figure out a replacement or a substitute for each position, which is very much a requirement for the hard season and for the very hectic schedule that sometimes plays up, especially towards the end of the seasons. Teams might find themselves playing in up to 4 competitions uh, simultaneously. So squad rotation is a big advantage if hopefully everybody stays injury free and there are lots of options available. Then it's always nice to give youngsters, like in the previous game and here, game minutes on the pitch in real matches that have something at stake. Not that this one has too much at stake because second position is already confirmed. And like I've said before, that's not good enough. But because other teams slipped up and luck played quite a big role in other teams losing to surprise uh, opponents. Not that we didn't, because Old Trafford this season was not at all the Old Trafford it used to be without the spectators, without the fans. It was absolutely devastating for Manchester United in terms of points. Still, it's not like, you know, Manchester City gave up their title push. It's more like other teams kind of gave up on their dreams, or they were forced to give up on their pursuit of the title as Manchester City were running away with it. Even they suffered shock defeats, the latest one being the one against Brighton just a week ago. But of course, their guard was down. You can forgive them or excuse them for having let their guard down after having won the title already. And a shot at the Manchester United goal, which is again quite away off the mark. So Wolves getting into promising positions, but not getting shots that they would like to achieve at this level, at this uh, stage of the game in which they are 1-0 down in the early part of the game. Yet there is a lot of football to be played still, not just in this game, but in the other 9 games as well. So I'll keep checking in periodically about what's going on in those matches. And there we have it. Leicester City have scored against Tottenham. All right. So have Leeds United against West Bromwich Albion and Newcastle against Fulham. So all the teams, or shall I say most of the teams who have an attacking flair are showing it even on the last day of the Premier League. So just to recap very quickly, Leicester City 1, Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester United 1, Wolves 0, West Ham and Southampton still at 0-0. So are Sheffield United versus Burnley. Newcastle have taken a 1 goal lead over Fulham, who are already relegated. Leeds United also have a 1 goal lead over West Brom. Arsenal and Brighton are playing out a 0-0 draw at the moment. So are Aston Villa and Chelsea. Manchester City had already scored 2 goals against Everton, and Liverpool are being held goalless by Crystal Palace as of now. So, 25 minutes in, and it seems like there's going to be a bit of uh, a showdown between, is it? Oh, so there was some sort of a penalty shout against Tuanzebe, but it does not seem likely. In fact, the penalty appeal against Tuanzebe seems tenuous at best. So let's see how Mike Dean responds. And of course, play has gone on and continued. Nothing doing regarding that. Oh, and a player is injured from the Wolves side. he just tired out, or is it something serious? I hope it's nothing serious, because injury is something that not only dampens the mood of the player but also, brings down their entire squad. All right. So Nuno Espirito Santo giving some advice to his squad by the time he gets his injury checked out. And it seems that Traore is able to walk, so it's nothing too serious. Probably something at the back of his leg, but the medical staff are kind of walking him off the field to let the play resume on the pitch. Or is it a straight up substitution? I think he has been substituted. Okay, so that's the end of the game for Adama Traore. Well, he did have his chances. He did make his moves down the right side, the right flank. But that is the end of the Premier League season for him. And the man on who is replacing him is William. William? All right. So the play is about to resume with a drop ball, and Mike Dean drops the ball for Matic, who plays it back. Now Tellez making his way up, but back down the left side. And it's become a sort of possession based game right now. The tempo has dropped. It's become a little slow because Wolves have not been able to attack so much after falling down by a goal. I think not only has it sapped their motivation, but because even for them, it's, let me be sure about this. Yeah, so Wolves have no stake in this either. In fact, Newcastle and Crystal Palace and Southampton, as well as Brighton, can all get ahead in case Wolves lose. So they basically want to get at least a point, if not all three, from this match. Although it doesn't seem like their energies are up to that level at this point right now. It seems that the first 15 minutes, at the end of which they conceded that goal, was when they were holding out and they were trying to put in all of their energies towards getting the first goal so that they could at least put Manchester United on the back foot. And here goes another cross by the Wolves winger, which is unfortunately too high, and no other Wolves player is there to be on the receiving end. And a very timid throw in by Manchester United. Let's see how they are going to build up this play. Oh, and I think Van de Beek is brought down, but play is waved on, and the advantage comes to nothing. Wolves backline holding on to the ball and trying to find a way past even the midfield of Manchester United, because it seems that right now all Manchester United have to do is to just intercept the passes and to clear away the ball. And Wolves are not really making any incisive inroads down the middle. They are mostly straying down the right, or on this occasion, the left flank, but even that is played back. And they are not really testing the Manchester United defense in this first half hour. Here is another attempt, which is just too slow, too far ahead, and very comfortable for Brandon Williams to pick up and drive forward almost till the halfway line, but played back again, all the way back to our goalkeeper. who plays it to Telles, and once again back to the back line. So this possession based football is something which is not really Manchester United's style of play historically, especially under Sir Alex Ferguson. He would never have stood for these kind of shenanigans. But at the same time, you have to roll with the times, you have to evolve with the technique that other teams are employing. And so, if it must be possession based, so be it. Okay. Uh, Not very interesting. In fact, Wolves have just edged Manchester United in both possession, which is 54% for them, and in total passes, which is 159 compared to Manchester United's 142. So, no point in taking out many pros and cons because both teams are separated by that one goal, that one moment of cross and head. Wolves, of course, have a lot at stake in this match because if they don't get these points, then they're not in the danger zone. They are obviously not going to get relegated, but it does affect the morale of a team because the season ending position in the table kind of sets the expectations for the next season as well. And the supporters of the club are, of course, disappointed. But then again, I can't say that I totally relate to that, especially after these past season or so. Uh, Back in the Mourinho era, it was not really the best football that Manchester United were playing. But under Ole, it has become like this, which is dangerous and very attack focused. The position based part of the game obviously comes in when you're trying to build from the back. And given how the rest of the teams and how football strategy has evolved right now, it seems that that is the way to go, but it doesn't make for very interesting football. Something like a Barca or oh, that also reminds me, Atletico Madrid won La Liga, so Suarez was really happy about that, as he should be, uh, and I think quite deservedly so. All right, let's see if yeah. So Dan James keeps the ball in, another cross, and this time it's collected by the Wolves goalkeeper, who very calmly lets it down for one of his defenders to try and take forward. He progresses a little bit before passing it down the right and getting intercepted. And is this going to be just a normal intercepted pass? Okay. So, like I was saying, the place at which a team finishes in the table has a huge cascade effect on the players, the supporters, and the coaching staff. Everyone gets affected mentally because of the poor or good finish of the team in the Premier League table. Still, because Manchester United already have the second place confirmed, I think that Ole has gone for an experimental side once again eye with an eye fixed on the final in 3 days' time in Gdansk, Poland, and facing Villarreal, who are a good Spanish club, no doubt, is not going to be an easy task. A final always has its nervy moments, so it's going to be an excellent watch, that's for sure. I mean, no denying that. I just hope that Manchester United go in with all guns blazing with the strongest possible squad, which is what Ole is aiming for with these recent squad rotations. So, whoa, a player is down for Wolves, and it seems like he's going to need some treatment on the field. Mike Dean was right there to watch, and it doesn't seem like a foul. Let's see. Okay, it's not too serious. He's back on his feet. And Nuno Espirito Santo having to watch his players struggle against a Manchester United side that is not full strength is something that he would not like to see. They are already one goal down, scored by Elanga, his first senior goal for Manchester United, assisted by a Dan James cross. So a good start for Manchester United, no doubt. Van de Beek taking the ball up and passing it down the right flank, and Brandon Williams. And I think it should be a corner, but it's a goal kick, and the two fullbacks are having a bit of a laugh about it because very obviously that bounced off the leg of the Wolves defender. Somehow the sideline official, the linesman, missed it. And obviously, these small things are not going to go for VAR checks. VAR has, of course, always been a talking point ever since it was introduced. And many times it played in Manchester United's favor. Uh, More often than not, penalties were awarded and converted by Bruno Magnifico. And Cavani has been a sensation. It's so awesome that he signed another 1 year contract extension because his finishing ability just awesome. Or shall I say, awesome max. Okay. So let's see if Wolves can keep this ball in, and no, they can't. Okay, talking about the rest of Manchester United's forwards, Martial has still not been back to full fitness, and Rashford has also been kind of off his pace lately. Uh, Cavani has, of course, like I said, been a revelation, really special player to watch and for the youngsters to learn from. His addition to the squad was a stroke of genius because apparently Greenwood and the rest of the youngsters look up to him. Yes, Ishan, Disney Plus Hotstar has all the football matches. I am watching Manchester United versus Wolves right now. And I do believe that they have all the matches streaming right now. So go ahead and watch whichever one you want. Which team do you support? Let me know in the comments, in the chat. And coming back to the game, 38 minutes gone. It's basically Wolves trying but failing at trying to get an equalizer before halftime. Yes, buddy, the Manchester United match is on Disney Plus Hotstar. So, oh, and there we have it. Wolves have scored an equalizer. Wolves have an equalizer against Manchester United just before halftime. And it seems that they have given their fans who are at the Molineux Stadium very, surprising. Dean Henderson caught off guard. The ball just rolled across him and into the back of the net, into the side, I will say. So, kind of a surprise goal there. But yeah, great play by Wolves and very fast. A little bit of skill and luck involved, and the equalizer is with Wolves. Okay, so this has added a nice little twist just before halftime. The scores are tied at 1-1. Okay, so going into halftime, around 6 minutes of regulation time remain. It doesn't seem that either team will score another goal, but then again, football is extremely unpredictable, as with most sports. Talking about other sports, uh, the Formula One Monaco Grand Prix just got over 1 hour ago, And just before these matches started, and Max Verstappen won the Formula One. So if you like Formula One, you are in for a treat for the rest of the season. The Drivers' Championship has just hotted up. A yellow card has been given to a Wolves player for a kind of rash sliding tackle. It's Ed Nouri. Okay, so Mike Dean has had a chance to show him a yellow card and a second yellow card to Den Donker. Maybe it is for showing anger. Okay, but Mike Dean knows best. So, all right. Uh, Thanks, Ashan. I hope you got to know that all PL matches are on Disney Plus Star in India. All right, then. Welcome back. And we are about to go into halftime. It's 42 minutes down in the match of Manchester United versus Wolves at the home of the Wolverhampton Wanderers, the Molineux Stadium. The match is drawn as of now. Both sides have scored a goal each. Manchester United got their goal through Elanga, and Wolves have just pulled one back. They've got their equalizer 3 minutes ago, and Manchester United trying to get the lead again before halftime. And a very promising ball in here, but excellent goalkeeping denies Manchester United the lead. And a wayward shot from Alex Telles goes way over the bar. Rui Patricio coming to Wolves' rescue. Oh, and surprisingly, it was Brandon Williams who took that shot at goal. So that just shows how fluid the formations and the player roles are in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's plans for Manchester United. With this younger squad, you can hone them, you can shape them into a very formidable attacking unit. And that is what we would like to see, because of course, it's just the beginning of their careers for most of these players. And the way that Martial and Rashford had burst onto the scene in their first seasons, these kids have not yet had the chance to do that. Greenwood, to a certain extent, has made a huge impact. At the same time, I'm pretty sure that as they get more and more game time and as they get more exposure against top teams, they are going to be upping their game, so to speak. All right, so we have a couple of minutes left before halftime. And at halftime, I'm expecting the score to remain at 1-1 unless Manchester United manage to pull off some sort of a magic move. And will this be it? No, it won't. Very badly sliced by Van de Beek. Too ambitious, too hurried, and that was never going to cut it. All right, so while the 45th minute winds down, let's have a look at the rest of the matches of the Premier League that are going on right now. Tottenham have also gotten their equalizer against Leicester City. West Ham have gotten a 2-goal lead over Southampton. Sheffield United, who are at the bottom of the table and have already been relegated, are beating Burnley 1-0. Newcastle, also against relegated Fulham, are leading by 1-0. Leeds United have added to their score and they've made it 2-0 against West Brom. Arsenal and Brighton still 0-0. Aston Villa have got a goal over Chelsea. Surprise there. Manchester City is still 2-0 up against Everton. And Liverpool have scored a goal against Crystal Palace. So as halftime approaches in all these 10 games on the final day of the English Premier League season 2020-2021, I am also going to be saying a big hi to Achyut. Hello there. Thanks for watching. And a big shout out to Sachi as well. All right. So we are into 2 minutes of extra time, and a player goes down in the penalty area of Wolves, but it's not really a hard decision for Mike Dean not to give a penalty. And thank you all for liking. I appreciate that gesture. And can this be a penalty? No, it will not be a penalty, even though Van de Beek is rolling around and looking for Mike Dean to say that it's a penalty. So Van de Beek kind of took it beyond. Oh, that is a very, very bad dive. That is just not expected from a player of his caliber. It's possible he misstepped, but VAR is not going to stand for it, and it's obviously not going to be a penalty. There we go. VAR making the check, and Van de Beek. Oh, there is contact. There is contact. I think it's my mistake. It's it is it seems like it's going to be a penalty. Mike Dean is having a conversation with the VAR official over his concept, and I'm not sure if it is very clear cut or not, but from the first angle that we got to see, it didn't seem like any contact was there. And now Mike Dean is heading over to the VAR viewing area. Let's see if he decides whether this is a penalty or not, because this is going to be the last action of the first half of Manchester United versus Wolves. The scores are right now 1-1. Let's see if Manchester United are given a penalty. It seems like there is some sort of contact. Okay, this angle might give us a better yeah. Okay, his foot has been stepped on. So I think this is going to be a penalty for Manchester United. All right. Is this penalty going to be the one that gives Manchester United the lead against Wolves at the stroke of half time? Let's see who steps up to take it in the absence of Bruno Fernandes and Donny van de Beek winning the penalty, so to speak. And I'm sorry, I thought he had, taken too much out of a small nibble at his foot. It's going to be Juan Mata. All right. So Juan Mata, the old workhorse who came over to Manchester United from Chelsea and built up a name for himself. Thank you so much. Yes, nearing 300, but lots more to go. So, all right. Thanks for liking. And there we have it. Juan Mata scores his penalty, and Manchester United go 2-1 up against Wolves at the stroke of halftime on the final day of the Premier League season 2020-2021. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the half. And what an end that is to a slightly dull half in the middle stages. But then this ending is the best that Manchester United could have hoped for. And as the whistle is blown and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick